평이 나쁘지 않길래 한번 해보려고 합니다. 재밌겠네요. 주의사항, 해당 게임은 공포 게임은 전체 이용가가 아닙니다. 광감이성 발작과 멀미 유발할 수 있는 특수 효과. 오케이. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아 주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. This is love story. 좋아요. 시작. 챕터 1. 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
소리 어때요? 커요? 혹시? 적당해요? 뭐야? 움직인다.
You're here to slay her.
뭐?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
뭐? 애초에 구두를 가져다 놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장... 내가 안 보이게. 탐색. 야, 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아? 나 말고 다른 사람에게 맡길 수 있는 거야? 안 할래. 왜 이렇게 많아? 뭐야? 이건 그냥 질문 같은데요? 한번
I'm
해볼게요.
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
어떻게 끝장낸다는
Don't
거야?
linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
증거 있어?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be
그런가?
here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. While I appreciate the mental exercise we are
자꾸
running
대답을 좀
against a
피하는데요?
bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to
제대로
this
설명 안
point.
해주지?
If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
그래요?
Unless, of course,
오이씨.
you do your job and slay her.
너무 심하지 않아?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
그런가?
If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
나 말고 다른 사람한테 맡길 수 없는
if
거야?
only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far.
왜 나야 하필?
But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
나 안
Are
할래.
you serious? No, you have to do it.
내가 세상이 끝장난다고 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성은 생각 안 해봤어?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or
혐오주의자.
very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
이 일에 보상 같은 건 없어?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
일을 성공적으로 해낸다면 어떤 보상을 받게 되지?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
일단 어둠에 가서 공주와 대화해보겠어. 만약에 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하다면 내가 공주를 죽일지도 모르지. 하지만 직접 만나보기 전엔 아무것도 단정 지을 생각 없어.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is so sure. Go, talk to her.
가.
See how that turns out for all of us.
뭐야,
You
이거
make your way
선택이야?
up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
어둠하게 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a
내가
fine
죽이는
layer
거야?
of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
헐, 잠깐. 단검을 가져간다. 일단은 가져가자.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be
어쩔
rather
수
difficult
없어.
to slay the princess and
혹시
save the world
모르는
without
일이
it.
있으니까. 일단 지하실에 들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
공주님 뭔가 시크하신데?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
안녕, 널 죽이러 왔는데? 그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 안녕. 계단을 내려간다. 모르겠는데? 어떤 느낌으로 가야 하지? 일단 죽이라니까 죽여야 될 것 같긴 한데. 괜히 이런 대화를, 시덥잖은 대화를 하면은 괜히 죽이는데 더 어려워지지 않을까? 강하게 일단 가볼까? 일단 내려가.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
그러게.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you
헐.
here to kill me or something?
뭐 그럴 리가. 내가 왜 그러겠어. 그래, 들켰네. 널 죽이러 왔어. 아니. 왜? 결의를 붙이고 다가간다? 사람을 내가 왜? 싫은데. 아직 결정하지 않았어. 일단 대화를 해볼까?
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out.
여왕의 목소리?
Don't you dare.
잠깐만. 누구 말을 들어야 되는지 사실 잘 모르겠어.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
단검을 떨어뜨리는데 단검을 단단히 쥔다? 어떻게 할 줄 알고. 나 일단 단단히 쥘래.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the
왜
blade.
그런 표정을 짓는 거지, 공주?
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too
안녕하세요.
late. End this.
탐색. 좋아, 일단 탐색을 하자.
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
돌기견. 헐. 이거 선택 아니야? 이렇게 되어 있는 게 선택이 아닌가? 아니 근데 왜 굳이 칼을 떨어뜨리라는 거야? 일단 대화를 해보자.
Then I'm not talking to you.
아 왜? 아 진짜. 아 교착 상태네?
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her
아이,
already.
네가 죽여 그러면 나한테 왜 내 손에 피를 묻히게 하려고 그러는 거야? 본인이 하지 왜 나한테?
Or drop the blade. Do
아 뭐라도
something.
해? 알았어요. 아 진짜 양쪽에서 대화할 생각 없어요?
Yeah, I'm sure.
아이고 선생님 2월달에 구독을 해주시다니 척탄병님 고마워요. 땡큐.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like
내가
this
먼저
forever.
해야 돼?
Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
내 사람을 죽이려면은 꽤나 이 칼을 꽤나 그러니까 심지어 또 한 방에 아프지 않게 죽이려면 힘을 빡 줘서 해야 되는데 왜 내가 죽여야 돼? 난 떨어뜨리겠어.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands
난
and
안
drops to the
돼.
floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just
배신하는 거 아니야?
talk.
무서워.
Against your
깜짝이야.
better judgment,
깜놀하는 거
you
아니야?
step forward to speak with the princess face
나
to face,
비꼬는데 이 사람이?
unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here,
한숨
but I
쉬지
can assure
마요.
you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
탐색 어색하군.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 들었어.
Don't just tell her that.
그런가?
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the
그런가?
world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so
짠이 그것도 맞긴 한데.
dangerous?
여기서 나가면 뭘 할 생각이지?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of
근데
us
내가
have going on down
뭘-
here is about trust.
뭘 믿고 이걸 내가
Whoever sent
하냐?
you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world.
그거는
But they
그렇긴 해.
didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you
그렇긴
either.
해.
Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
영웅의 목소리.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word
그렇긴
possibly
하지.
be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
잠깐. 여기 얼마나 오래 있었지?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
이름이 뭐지?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
어떻게 해야 널 여기서 나가게 할 수 있지?
You can't. Don't bother.
못해?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
설마? 팔을 자르는 거야? 아닌가? 대화는 이제 충분해.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
잠깐만, 근데 뭐 세이브가 있네요? 뭐야? 뭐야 이거? 뭐지? 난 세이브 해볼까? 공주를 죽인다. 나갈 수 있게 도와주지. 족쇄를 조사한다. 널 여기서 좀 더 가둬둘 거야. 한번 그냥 죽인다 해볼까요? 저장이 되어 있으니까 한번 해볼게요.
You charge the princess
뭐야?
blade trembling in your hand.
내 손
You've
왜
already
이래?
lost the battle.
싸움 졌다고?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She
망설이지
kicks you a
말았어야
few times
된다고?
for good measure, the pointed tip of her
아,
shoes
아파.
feeling like a
아파,
pickaxe
아파.
against your fracturing bones, making sure as you lie, crushed
헐.
and broken on the basement floor. The princess kneels
어?
on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you shouldn't have let that fear creep into your
아,
heart.
그래요?
You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do?
뭐야?
Look at you. Completely broken.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing
헐,
the
날
teeth
나
of your life
지금
out
숨
of
막혀서
your
죽게 하는 거야?
lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is.
뭐야?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
뭐야?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end
근데
of that
챕터 2가
path
됐어.
is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
뭐야?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
약간 그거네. 잠깐만. 이거 일어났던 일 아니야?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part
루프물이야,
of it.
루프물?
We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing
헐.
you can do to stop her. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it
이번엔
has to
그럼
be
바로
if you
그걸
spend the
해볼까?
whole time second-guessing yourself.
잠깐. 내가 왜 네 말을
Those are
들어야
two
돼?
very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or you died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
그런가?
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her.
헐,
She broke
자네네.
every bone in
왜
our
절망의
body before
목소리가
she
됐어.
decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of,
Oh, what's the point of doing anything?
if you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed
갑자기
us and now
영웅의
everyone's
목소리가
right
됐네.
back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she
그러게.
wants. It's all
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So
어떻게
chin up.
죽여?
I believe in you. Just be quick
이야기해보자.
about it.
탐색. 이번에도 안 죽일 수 있다고 확실할 수
Like I
있는 거야?
said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me.
말을 섞지 마?
Don't talk to her, don't
아,
trust
그럴까?
her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
그래, 그런 사람이 어떻게 세상을
She
멸망시킨다는
just
거야?
can. Believe me, I wish I could tell
아,
you.
해설자
You
말을
just have to
들어볼까?
trust that what I'm saying is true and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her
아니야.
and stop pretending
해설자의
that we're
말을
capable
들어보자.
of doing anything in this situation. Can we tone down the pessimism just a
아,
smidge?
목소리가 한 명 더 생긴
I'm not being
거구나.
a pessimist.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
뭐야?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
그러니까 왜 나한테 또 넘겨?
I'm not supposed to say this,
아, 내가
but
선택받았어?
it's because you're special. You're
나
the
스페셜이야?
only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that
한
we
번
get to
죽었는데 왜 몇
experience
번이
painfully
고통스러운
dying
죽음이야?
all over again.
I've told you everything you need to
좋아.
let you know
오케이,
about.
오케이. 가자. 왜 다야?
Right, now if you
가자고. 이번에 그 시키는 대로 해볼게. 안 되기만
a
해봐.
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
알았어.
everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner. If that's what you
들어간다.
want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior of the cabin is
뭐야?
larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note
뭔가
is a
달라진
massive
느낌인데요.
marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Why do we feel so
Oh.
small? We don't feel small.
지난번과
Maybe
달라.
that's because you haven't actually been
에?
here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
거울에 다가간다.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a...
거울을 다눈다? 뭐야?
You reach forward and rub your hand
오!
against the cabin wall. I hope you know how
나
ridiculous you
헛것이 보이는 건가?
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left
단검을
unseen.
You
가져간다.
take the blade from
좋아,
the
그냥
altar.
해설자 말을
It
따르자.
would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase.
나 왜 이렇게
Its steps
작아졌지?
almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below.
Huh. This is actually...
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs.
뭘 알아?
Come down and witness me.
뭐야, 목소리가
You
이상해졌는데요?
weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
이미 망한 거
Making your
아니야?
way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes. The princess towers
뭐야?
over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained
뭔가
glass
달라진 것
window.
같은데요?
Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you.
The little bird has returned to me.
헐, 알고
I
있어.
wonder what he wants.
뭐야?
You brought that knife
돌아왔대.
again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
헐. 움켜줘.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp, but we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
진짜 첫대가
Oh,
유일한
I
기회였나?
understand what's going on,
아닌가?
and you'd better
아닌가?
snap yourself out.
미스터리 아닐까요?
Kneel.
두두두두두두. 싫어.
Are you still trying to defy me?
저항할래.
I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your
말을 하면 안
broken
됐었나?
lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth
헐,
awakening.
진짜 말을 하면 안 됐었던 거야?
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for... It's time for me to seize my destiny.
저요?
And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed
방법이
to
있나요,
destroy
해설자님?
her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he?
해설자님 그럼 시키는 대로 할
What are we
테니까
supposed to do to
방법
stop
좀
her?
알려줘봐요.
Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
종주에게 충성을 맹세한다. 아, 근데 충성을 맹세하는 것도 나쁘지 않을 것 같은데 약간 선을 잘 타는 거지. 어쨌든 정말 그러라는 건 아니야.
This isn't about desire. This is about
약간
what I
그거
am.
같다.
And I have little interest
캐리건
in
목소리
discussing
같다.
destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth, but know the limits of your privilege.
작은 새.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill.
헐, 애완동물 삼아준다는데요, 저를?
But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest. All you have to do
내보내달라고? 근데 족쇄는 혼자 못 푸나 보네.
Don't be
그러니까.
rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why
주제를
it's
알아야 돼.
rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my
갑자기 아니 근데 말
is
한마디에
deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you being so struck by my glory,
아이, 줄을 좀 잘
so
탈까?
overwhelmed by what I am, that and from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference, because in the end, No matter how vainly you struggle against me.
일단은 해설자의 뭐가 방법이 있지 않을까나? 관심 없어.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
몸소 보여주시나?
Pick up that.
헐 설마 나를 죽이게 할 셈이야?
It's what she.
내가 내 목을
Here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning. But
뭐야?
as your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an
죄송하다고
unseen
빌자고?
puppeteer.
방검을 줍는다. 안돼 싫어.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
헐.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah.
어차피 일어나야 되니까. 일어난다.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation.
헐.
The moment seems to
설마
last a
칼로.
lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come, dragging out the
싫어요.
long, painful seconds.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow,
헐.
while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
싫어. 잠깐만 이거 한글로 뭐 이런 거 같은데요?
Don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your
싫어요.
nerves, step forward, and end this.
안돼.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat.
아, 해설자님,
I apologize
저도-
for the unclear language.
저도 그러고
End
싶지 않아요.
her.
공주를 죽인다. 공주를
Your
죽인다.
body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you.
널
As you do your
죽이겠어.
best to stagger forward. One step.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy.
헐.
But it seems
아, 내가
you're
괜히
in need of a
저항했나?
harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
헐 폐에다가 꽂으면 더 막 고통스럽고 늦게 죽나?
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels, then it slides
안
back
돼,
out,
안 돼,
the
안
wound
돼.
burning as a small hiss of air
아,
escapes through the fresh
잔인해요.
orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
아,
Now, do it again.
헐.
Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You
나도
don't
나도
have to
듣기
listen
싫어.
to. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade
돼.
still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that pop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore.
What a pitiful
아,
display.
아,
It
너무
doesn't have to be
아,
like this.
아,
It doesn't have to hurt
새,
so
새?
much.
잠깐만. 야, 이 정도면 빨리 죽는 게 낫지 않을까? 아, 잠깐만. 아, 이거 진짜, 아, 소리가 너무 그건데. 잠깐만. 아, 진짜, 어차피 안 죽을 거냐. 같이 죽기? 죽여, 이 자식아.
You can pathetically struggle against yourself until
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your
주인공
blade expose
힘내.
bone and muscle to the open air of. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand.
해설자, 이 자식아.
Influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things.
아,
at
소리
once.
좀요. 아, 진짜 소리 좀
You're
빨리.
the one
아우.
making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt.
stop.
그만하래. 오.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at
아,
the princess's feet.
아,
Your chest
괴로워요.
heaving as your
아.
blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor. The coppery taste
Oh,
coat the princess
oh,
kneels down,
oh,
lifting your chin with her finger
oh.
as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion.
저를 인정해
But
주시는
something
거예요?
about your defiant spirit speaks to me. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning. isn't it?
모욕스럽다고?
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy.
아니야. 월씨가
After he's
아니야.
given up whatever say he had at the start of all this, at least one of you is sane.
She's within striking
헐.
distance, and she's only negotiating
기회를
now
잡아?
because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her.
죽이자.
Seize the moment
공주를
before
죽여.
it's too late.
공주를 죽여!
Yes, though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to where the wind of your freedom
좋아.
rushes through you, and you
좋아.
channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her
좋아,
ankle and
결정적인
severing
타격을
the
했어.
tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing
좋은 거
unceremoniously to
맞나?
her knees. But you don't give her any
오!
time to recover.
나
Your
되게
heart
근데
pounding
작다
with
진짜.
determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
오.
As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once
무서워요.
slowly composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly.
고블린인가 봐요.
You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade
잠깐만,
aside and
근데
beg for forgiveness.
나 인간 맞긴 해?
Shut up.
아니 막 세계가 무너진다는 게 약간 고블린들의 세상이 멸망한다는 거 아니야? 인간 입장에서는 공주를 지켜야 되는 건가?
I can't believe you would actually strike me.
You heathen! You were!
벌레요?
You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the
그렇죠?
princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
아이고 이렇게 물리적으로 때리시는 거예요? 아이고.
Numbness and pain spreading through your body.
야 안돼.
As you
나
rebound towards the ceiling
칼로
in a
가슴
moment of
찔렀었는데 거길 또 때린대.
disorientated
와 진짜
lightness,
잔인한
she
녀석.
drives her fist into your chest.
아.
Your body is crushed.
에?
She pulverizes you into the floor. The ground
헐.
itself
아 해설자 이 자식아.
You lie there, broken, beyond pain,
헐.
unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting
헐,
into
괴물이
something
돼가나
new,
봐요.
something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
저야 뭐
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her.
쓰러뜨린 거 맞아?
But I don't feel liberated.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
아픈 거만 빼면 괜찮아.
She
뭐야?
collapses to the floor.
갓킬러?
Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking,
Europe.
yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here. Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally
뭐야 난
over.
죽어?
Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you
이거
die.
귀신 나오고 깜놀 나오는 게 아니라 기괴괴괴하고 좀 기분 나쁜 느낌의
뭐야.
공포네요 띠글.
그러게요. 약간 그런 잔인한 쪽의 식구인가? 아니 뭐야 공주 죽였잖아.
And at the end of the part, okay, what the hell is that?
What the hell is this?
I think he's upset. What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a
아니 뭐야?
god.
하나 더 늘어났는데요 목소리가?
Exactly.
아름다운 존재를 죽이다. 나제 자아가 자꾸 늘어나는데요?
Thing that ever was.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path
해설자는 이제
is that if your
세계관이
thing is
공유가
telling
된
us
거야?
about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. And it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase.
뭐라나 보네.
Clearly, you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you
내가
aren't
보는 게
supposed to
이상하게
know.
보이는 건가?
This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted.
So you knew this could happen? You knew we'd be able to restart like this?
I know all sorts of things, which is
Oh.
why you should listen to me.
That's not really an answer.
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs.
그래, 아는 걸 전부 말해.
Can't. Anything
아,
I say
그런가?
at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said
그런가?
that.
날 흔들리게 하지
I trust that
않는
if
건가?
you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her.
Really? That's it? That he just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better
아니야,
than this.
아닌가? 나
She can
모르겠는데?
build something better than us.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm.
그냥
here.
공주의 밑으로 들어가는 것도 나쁘지
I
않을지도.
will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of
근데 이미
stopping her
공주를
and
한번
saving the
죽여가지고.
world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be.
오, 야 강하게 나갈까? 내 말
So
들어라.
what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten sick.
What a crock of shit.
Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly. It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died! If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to.
무슨 일이
Then what
일어나지?
happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
Yeah, but is there something...
How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just
True.
peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there. If there even is
제가
a
그걸
there.
어떻게 알아요?
It doesn't matter because we're going. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely...
잠깐만, 오두막에 간다. 돌아서서 떠난다? 그래도 되는 거야? 잠깐 세이브 한번 해볼까?
Are you
떠난다.
serious? Fine, you walk away from the cabin. Let's see how that goes for you.
어떻게 될까요?
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? Everything is getting fuzzy.
어?
What's going on?
What's going
Where
on?
are we?
We're dead, obviously.
I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you. But did you listen? No.
이렇게 그냥 세상이 멸망하나 봐. 헐. 헐. 진동이 느껴진다. 뭐야 이게 뭐야 이게 뭐야 이게. 영자가 아니다. 저항감. 당신으로 가득해요. 이게 무슨 일이에요? 무엇이 필요해요? 뭐야 이거? 뭐야 이것도 선택지가 있다고? 악몽인가? 아니 나 뭔지 일단은 보자. 생각을 받아들인다. 끝내야 할 이야기. 뭐야? 내 자아들이야? 깜짝이야! 뭐야? 챕터 1으로 돌아갔다고?
You're on a path in
잠깐만.
the woods.
뭐야?
And at the end of that path is a
불러오기. 약간 안 되나봐. 이러면은 이게 약간 진행이 되고 있는 거긴 한가 보네. 악몽이야 해볼까요? 그러면 그냥 다시 일어나는 거 아닐까요?
Are you serious?
Wait, we're...
악몽이야. 아니 그냥 돌아가면 안 되나봐. 불러오기. 그래. 일단은 좋아. 오두막에 간다.
Good. We're all on the same page.
해설자의 말대로 가자.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within,
좋아, 해설자 나만
as
믿어.
I'm sure you already know.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder
해설자는
than
내가
it has
계속
to be.
반복하는
So
거
stop.
모르는 것 같은데. 들어가자. 일단 죽이자.
The interior of the cabin
와,
is
이거
a place that
마왕성이야,
feels
무슨?
long forgotten.
와, 이게
There
뭐야?
was once an
징그러워.
elegance to its construction. Carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows
이게
letting in
어둠아?
the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of liquid.
That's horrible.
You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal.
맥박이 뛴다고?
Pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you
나도
want to do
작아진
this
건
right.
아니겠지?
A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal,
아,
the
내가
blade
자꾸
sitting
뭔가를
on the
보고
pedestal,
있나?
and the door to the basement. Just tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either
요즘
seeing
뭔가
things
의미가
or
있나?
you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say?
He thinks we've lost it, that we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has...
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
거울에 다가... 아, 잠깐만. 단검을 일단 가져가야지 않을까?
You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a good. Nothing feels better
아,
than
저장,
gripping
그러게.
cold steel.
근데 뭐 있네. 그냥 거울에 다가간다가 있네. 거울에 다가간다.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you?
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why smash it? Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there?
헐.
We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
거울을 닦는다.
Reach forward and drag your hand across the
뭐야.
door leading to the basement.
글글.
As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the
Oh my
basement are
God.
at once both narrow and grandiose. The high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating
말을
embers
한다.
of her voice. A bellowing rage roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to
당신을
rend my divine
죽여야겠어요,
heart?
공주님.
Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why?
아이,
Why did you
절망,
desecrate her?
절망이
Why
가만히
couldn't
있어.
I stop?
내가
Got to
세계를
stop
구할
thinking about her
거니까.
like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you
나
didn't
아니야?
make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task
아니,
is so
내가 약간 헛것을
important.
보고 있나 보네.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
The chamber's
아이고.
walls are painted in blood.
아니 뭐야 이거
Sickening red that drips down
혹시
in
내가 이거
potted streams of
가슴을
the charred
찔러가지고
corpses that
아니
make up its
이거
floor.
그 공주가 아니신데?
This place reeks
와
of
뼈를 힐로
torment,
만든 거야?
of ripped skin and burning bone.
아이고 뭐야 이게?
Princess stands in its center, muscles frayed and bare and weeping,
피부로 이루어진
draped in
옷이래.
the tattered dress of her own skin.
헐
Her heart
갈비뼈가
beats from its place in her open
헐 너무
chest.
충격적이야.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's
어머,
not so
어머,
much a
어머.
moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut,
어머, 어머.
holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place, and then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it
그래,
again.
그래, 할 수
This
있어.
time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
온다. 잠깐만 공주를 이렇게 죽임을 당하러. 잠깐. 일단 대화를 해볼까?
Time happened. You happened. But none of that matters. We're together
파운드를
again, and
가져갔네.
I'll have my pound of flesh.
에? 대화만 했을
Her
뿐인데?
fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch, you are
아우,
unwound.
아유, 야, 잔인해라. 아유, 이게 뭐야. 아유, 야, 잠깐만. 아유. 야, 자, 공주를 죽인다 해보자. 아유, 이게 뭐야. 아이씨, 말하지 마. 지금 약간 그거 할 제정신이 아니신가 보네. 죽인다를 먼저 해보자.
Your heart free of
그런
fear,
거 없다.
you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each
아니야,
other,
할 수
both
있어.
of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of...
With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
아우.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this
아,
last
저한테 왜
forever.
이러세요?
I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
어? 뭐야?
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again.
뭐야,
Why is it
거울이다.
here? Why now?
탐색. 해설자가 사라졌어.
Does that mean the world
멸망했어?
ended?
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
어디 있는지 모르겠어. 어디서 찾아야 할지도
You're
몰라.
right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
거울을
There's
들여다봐야 할 것
something
같고.
dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
왜?
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at us.
거울에
I'm begging
다가간다.
you, don't do this.
야, 거울 보고 겁낸 적
It's different
없었잖아.
now. It feels, I don't know, final.
헐. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 뭐야. 당신이 손을 뻗어 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울이 무엇인지 확인할 때다. 당신이다. 그렇군. 나군. 내가 왜? 당신은 텅 빈 공간에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 오두막에 간다? 뭐야? 그래도 이 와중에 오두막에 간다고? 언제까지 이렇게 만나는 건데? 그녀에게 다가간다.
Something finds me in the long quiet
뭐요?
and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
뭐요? 넌 무엇이지?
I am solitary lights in an empty city, What are you?
무슨 뜻이에요?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
사람은 아닌 것 같은데. 뭐라고
I
생각하세요?
think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
연약한 그릇이 뭐지?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her.
아,
She
죽은
has
거야?
finally found peace.
이게 세상의
How
멸망이야?
can the world have ended if we are
그건 아닌가?
talking?
풀어줘? 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing
어?
I have
해설자
ever known.
누구야? 그러고 보니 해설자랑 다 성우가 똑같은 느낌이긴 했네.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
바깥 세상에 대해 알아?
I know only that they are.
네가 공주야?
She is part of me, and
뭐지?
part
이해를
of me
못하겠군.
is her.
어? 처음부터 공주였다는 거야? 네가 공주를 네 일부러 만든 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another?
뭐야, 공격한다? 어, 잠깐만. 공주를 죽여라? 집합체인 거야? 이거는 아까 그것들이잖아. 그 뭐야. 제가 했던 막 공격해야 될 것 같은데? 아는 사이 탐색을 일단
You
해.
are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope.
잠깐.
I have only just now stirred to consciousness.
어떻게 되지?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception.
응?
She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
나는 존재를 죽여달라는 부탁을 받았어. 내가 널 도우면 넌 세상을 파괴할 거야?
You ask of things that cannot be done.
이 자식 공주는 맞는 거 같은데? 공주를 없애야 되지 않을까?
To remold.
놔둔다?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
뭐야, 왜 있게 해줘밖에 없지?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again.
그럼 계속 똑같은 결정을 할 거 아니야.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now.
돌아갈 생각 없어. 기다린다.
If you need time,
영원히 기다린다?
you are as I am now. And for I am not you, but I know that I... What textures will you weave for yourself? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? You'll always come
뭐요?
back to the box.
뭐야? 뭐야? 게임 꺼졌어. 뭐야? 저장을 안 했으면 어쩔 뻔. 글글.
You have returned to me.
뭐야?
Though you were gone mere moments,
바로 이렇게
I never
시작되네.
left your side.
나 잊고 싶지 않은데.
She She asks that I tell you to remember her.
아니 그냥 공주 죽이게 할 걸 그랬는데 내가 거기에 저장했었나? 아 깜짝이야. 챕터 1이야? 아이
You're on
잠깐만.
a path in the woods.
불러오기 여기에 했었나? 야 집합체를 공격한다. 에?
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we
뭐야
are
어떻게
now.
할 수가 없어? 헐 스스로의 몸을 파괴한다. 에잇 남주택. 뭐야?
There's nowhere for you to be but
와
here.
그렇게 할 수밖에 없어? 헐 그녀를 풀어줘.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. I promise that it
뭐야 일단은 진행해야 되나?
as we there
그냥 뭐
is
내가 뭐
no
잘못됐나? 좋아 있게 해줘.
She asks that I tell you what.
나 그럼 챕터 1부터 시작하면은
You're on a path in the woods.
바로
You're
죽여볼까?
here to
조용히 오도막에 간다.
You make your way up.
시키는
the
대로
shore.
해.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him.
죽여.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade is your.
단검을
You
가져간다.
take the blade from the table.
좋아.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds.
Don't let it.
널 아니 말도 하지 마. 말
You're
섞지
still
마.
listening to reason. You walk down the stairs.
She's so cold.
Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or
결의를
something?
굳히고 다가간다.
You step forward. Your grip on the blade tightening as you steal your.
Oh? No talking then?
죽일
I'm
거야?
probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if so, you should.
She's unarmed.
공주를 죽인다.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give
오,
way
뭐야?
and look down to see your
이렇게
blade
바로
already
그냥
sinking
죽일 수
deep
있구나.
into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming.
뭐야
But I
근데 그
have
전에
to
공주는
wonder.
되게 아가아가 아니야?
Do you actually believe
Huh?
this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes. Even as she
헐.
lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
But is it over? Really?
물론이지 공주는 죽었어.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done,
죽었어.
you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little
맞아.
bad.
대의를 위한
But it
행동이었어.
was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty.
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
떠나면은 뭐 나올
You
것
open the
같아.
cabin
뭐야?
door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
에?
Instead,
뭐야?
what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's
Huh?
just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't
제가
worry,
왜 행복해요?
you'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy.
일단 알았어 해볼까? 세이브. 어디에 저장하지? 뭐 있지 말까? 아 여기 옆에 더 있네. 결말이 영 별로인데?
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain,
아니 뭔
endings are
소리야?
a thing of the
엔딩 같은
past.
것도 없다고?
No,
영원의 시작점?
this is the beginning of eternity. This is what's best for everyone. Trust
그럼
me.
나는
Time passes.
뭐?
You can't be sure if it's days or months
이보다
or
행복할 수는
years
없다고?
or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. Psst. Hey,
We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
난 행복해. 우린
Are
행복해.
we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
네가 내게 마지막으로 말 건 사람이라 그런 건 아니야? 아니, 우린 행복해. 정말이야? 행복하다. 조커를 좀 건네볼까?
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
무슨
I can
소리야?
hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade
아니,
on,
그
and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear.
He's right. It's the only way out.
Do you hear that? It wants to take
이게
this
왜
happiness
환상적인
away from you.
공간이야?
It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade, and don't you dare.
우리가
How
죽는 거
astute.
아니야?
You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even
맞긴
really
해.
alive anymore?
살아있다고 볼 수
This
없긴 해.
place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
나 아무것도 안 하고 있을래? 진짜 죽으면 아무것도 안 하고
What a
있을래?
relief. I suppose we've got all the time in the world. More happy time passes, though the word
시간이
begins
의미를
to
잃고
lose
있어.
its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Please shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of
뭔가
here.
하긴 해야
The
되나
little
보네요.
voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence.
어?
Though words like eventually and
뭐야?
pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that
무슨
shift,
소리야?
you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
You have already committed to my completion.
어?
You cannot go further astray.
어? 어? 이렇게 영원히 사는 건 해피엔딩이 아니야?
Good. Because the
그래.
blade, I can hear
일단은
he's right.
약간
Do
이게
you
좀
hear that? It
진행하는
wants
건가
to
보네요.
take the... Do you not? Don't you?
단검. 진짜 죽으면 별로 기분이
If we
좋지 않을 것 같은데.
die, you can yell at me all you want. I made
야,
this
진짜
happy little
죽어버리면
place.
하늘 나도
Is this
없어져
not a
버리는
good enough
건데.
reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate.
근데 해설자가 나한테 해피엔딩 줬는데?
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine
머리
as the day you first held
세상에나.
it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die.
어?
The end. Nice knowing you.
어? 뭐야? 다른...
You're on a path in the woods.
근데 유령이네
And
내가?
at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
뭐야? 어? 난
I can
죽었는데?
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very
이번엔
hard to
냉혈의
kill her
목소리네.
last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're
이번에도
going to
그냥 공주를
insist that this
죽이면
has
되나?
happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
나 가봅시다.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will She
알았어.
won't.
The interior of the cabin is cold.
어,
A
약간
soft
다른데?
odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the
내가
shutters against the
작아지지는
windows.
않았네.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It feels like no one's been here for a... Like I've been saying. She's dead.
점검을
That's
거울.
because there isn't a mirror. There is.
Who cares if there's a mirror?
잘생긴 내 얼굴 말이야? 잠시만. 잘생긴 내
I care
얼굴
less about
말이야.
that and more about whether we're being lied to. I'm not lying to you.
거울에 다가간다.
You walk up to the wall.
It's real.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and rub. It was there a second.
And now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it.
거울을 그냥 두고 가야
Clearly
되는
it's not
건가?
even important enough to be ignored.
You take the
내가
blade from
자꾸 만져서 그런가?
the door to the room, but
Nobody's...
as much as I appreciate,
I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
어?
as you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
그러게 계속 죽어
A
있네.
skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead.
It's just like I told you.
Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up
얘도
at you,
유령이야?
followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost!
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the
헐,
room into your
깜짝이야.
orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders
좀
and down your neck
순해졌는걸?
as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin.
So she has a body, and she's right there.
응? 몸이
That
있는
means we
거야?
could kill her again.
잠시 상황을 지켜본다라고? 아, 죽여들... 아, 일단
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you...
헐. 왜 아직 살아있지?
I don't feel very bad, but I guess I'm not.
적당히 죽였다고?
Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to.
But we're not a ghost. Unless we are?
나도
Maybe that's
유령인가?
why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead.
Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore.
See, this is why I didn't want you to talk to her. Death is not just a concept, it is an extremely real phenomenon.
대화하지 마. 지난번에 널 죽여서 미안해. 아니, 죽이자. 여기 왜 이렇게 많아? 헐, 뭐야? 아니, 공주를 죽인다.
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through.
You're adorable when you're confused.
나보고 귀엽다는데.
I didn't so you could touch me. Why are you
무서워.
even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
공주를 죽인다. 다시!
You swing at the princess once more, and once more your blade cuts
답이
through
없다.
nothing.
Really?
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs. She draws in close.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, Keller. I was willing to
함께
ignore
나갈
everything
수만
you did
있다면?
to me
어?
so we could
뭐야?
get out of here together. All I ever wanted was to leave
어,
this
울고
place.
있다.
All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she
What if this violence is the only language you speak?
헐, 나 또 죽이려는 거야?
forces her hand into your chest, and then
Yes?
nothing happens. Are you sure about that?
그래 나도 유령이니까.
Something should have happened, and yet it didn't. We're fine.
조용히 그녀를
You
바라본다.
can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what is the horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy no.
뭐야?
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed, starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor.
영재를 죽인다.
You swing
왜
your
나는 안
blade
되지?
towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her
되는구나.
neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too late. In her
나야?
hand, you realize
내
she clutches
심장이야?
your still beating heart.
Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
망령?
You're on a path, and here we go again.
또야?
We
아이,
kill her.
참.
Come on. Yeah. And what if that's ridiculous? I think that's
잠시만.
exactly what it is. Wouldn't that get... Okay, so you've already been here. Nobody here is screwing with you.
아니
and I
동서
can't-
안 죽었어.
We killed ourselves. And
어?
why, pray tell? Because you decided to foist
그래.
an infinite tea. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have
아니,
effortlessly
해피님
slain the
바뀌겠지.
princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You
그래, 이
locked us in a
자식아.
cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void. And then,
Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful.
it was boring.
It was bullshit. So you killed yourself,
Yes. And then she killed us.
even though she was already dead. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real.
다음에
And the
챕터일로
danger
돌아가보면
she poses to
문제를
all of them is
구해볼까?
also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish.
All this standing around and talking.
좋아.
You
오두막에
continue
간다.
down the path toward. It isn't long
일단
before you're steps
마지막으로
away from your
죽여봅시다.
destination. The more he... Whatever. You don't...
It sounds.
The interior of the
뭐야?
cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow
뭔가
out from
멋있는데?
tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward. The only furniture of note is... That's... What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there
현관이
isn't much of anything in
없어.
here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Great. Something else has been taken away from us.
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter.
거울이가 거울.
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement. No, I didn't say door. What are the odds she's waiting for us? Let me assure you that there's nothing. You can't see the mirror. The knife is gone. Nobody is calling the shot. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward toward...
We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others.
I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all... You stop as you reach the end. Here we
거울을
go.
단. 그럼
You
뭔가
reach your arm
없어지겠지?
forward into the pitch black of the...
Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer?
헐
Staring into
뭐야
the
이거.
void?
아
Thinking about what it'd be like
눈인
to
줄
die
알았네.
again? I know exactly how you feel.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long... From your bones
으악!
snap. Icy
아,
pain
저-
radiates
아니,
up from the
얼마나
break,
죽는
a
거야.
deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the
아니
shock of
공주랑
it,
나랑
collapse,
현관이네.
and you collapse with them. You're met with the
Whoa.
terrifying visage of the princess, Her hand
아, 나
grips your
근데
leg
인간이
in a
아닌데요,
steel
저.
vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave
어,
you
진짜?
a path to forgiveness. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it
아,
up to me.
실수인가?
But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little bit, well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here.
어!
And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different.
그러네.
Do we even have a choice?
뭐 하실래요?
You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this
뭐
time.
하라는 대로 해야지.
Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade?
Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the...
몸부림을 친다. 이제 지나간 걸로 할까?
And you think that's even? How adorable. But I think you forgot about the part where you tried killing me again. If I were you, I would just want to get it over with. You lost your chance to call the shots. There's no going back to fix it now.
그냥 내가 알아서 문 열어주면 안 돼?
I don't think you get the magnitude of hatred
아,
that sits between
신뢰를
us.
깨서.
You've broken more trust than I thought I had. Oh, we're past the point of
아,
compromise.
막을 수 없어?
Enough talking. We'll have plenty of
알았어.
time for
You remain pinned to the floor
아이고,
of the long
이게 뭐야,
hallway as the
아이고.
rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle.
Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock.
구출하고 싶은 거 아니었냐고?
Besides, I
아,
thought like
아닌데?
this. You don't even have a weapon. So I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade.
나한테 물어.
Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us?
Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul.
일어나?
You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision
공주가
swimming
내
as the
몸에
princess's
들어왔어?
command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is
It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
아우,
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. Flip the table. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss.
근데 공주의 몸을 막 모아오라고 하지 않았었나?
Your
아유,
body,
아파.
still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door.
아, 이거 참 쉽지 않네. 아, 저장을 막 하고 있긴 하지만 일단 몸을 던져.
In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess
에이, 또
struggle over the reins of your body.
터졌어.
One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always. You throw everything you have
이건 또
against her and
뭘까?
manage for one brief
엑소시스트 3?
moment to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed.
왜 날
Her
미워하지?
thought slips through you,
하지만 해설자가
as you fall. What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it.
아 해설자가
What
아니고
happens now?
그러니까 해피엔딩
I want to
어딨어?
know what he thinks happens now. Oh. And why is that?
우드득 하면서 그러게? 아 그럼 공주를 해설자 이 자식
He's
멍청아?
gone. But
당신과 서로 바라본다. 나도 데려가는 건가? 몸 같은 걸?
she's gone. Where? There's that mirror again.
뭐야?
Why is it here? Why now?
챕터 1으로 갔는데 약간 이어진 느낌이네?
I would have kept. What is that? So you're the real.
거울에 다가간다. 약간 껌해. 자신을 바라본다. 똑같으려나? 아니 똑같은데요? 나는 성장했다고? 어둠하게 간다. 영혼 데려왔어요.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of
약간
vitality and
그게
movement.
됐는데?
I am more than I was before.
다른 모습이네.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
아니 공주를 뭐 되게 다양한 방식으로 죽이라는 거야? 다음에 어떤 그릇을 원하지?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them.
서프라이즈를 원해요?
Do not worry. There are no wrong answers.
야, 계속 그냥
And every
잘못된
perspective
결정은 없다?
illuminates my shadows and
좋아. 그러면 이번엔 공주를 이 그릇에 대해 어떻게 생각해?
this one is loneliness turned to seething.
좋아요.
She could not
공주를
find her
살려봅시다.
strength in others. So do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
목소리 너무 좋다.
Eyes close, perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my it feels correct. Is a child the same as an infant? I am
좋아요. 일단 뭐야?
I await your return. We will meet again.
아야. 좋아.
You're on a path. You're
살짝
here.
이 자식이 조용히 해. 돌아서서 떠난다. 이거 바로 하면 어떻게 되는 거지? 이거 공주를 풀어주는 느낌으로 갈까?
You make your
가가지고?
weapon on. The interior of the
풀어줍시다.
cabin is almost entirely the blade.
단검을 가져가지 않기? 근데 단검으로 저 풀어줘야 하지 않나? 가져가긴 일단 해봐야겠다.
Who's
She said, "Don't let."
안녕. 그냥 괜찮은지 보러
It's
왔어.
been so long since anyone's
그냥
come down
친절하게
here.
대해봅시다.
I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
없어요. 의심을 안 한다?
You walk down the stairs. She's so focused on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
내가 왜 그러겠어?
That giant knife you're holding.
아니야.
Don't you dare. It's
칼
fine.
내려놔봐 일단. 떨어뜨린다.
The blade
Thank you.
against your better judgment.
아니 근데
You
이거
step
좀
forward
칼로
to speak
갈기라도
with the
하면 안 되나?
princess fate. We'll be fine. Don't know what you're hoping to accomplish.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
날 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other.
요즘 애들은 근데
By
사실
definition, we have a relationship.
빠르더만 요즘 애들은. 어떻게 어떻게 해야 여기서 널
You
나가게 할 수
can't.
있어?
Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and well, we can.
Her sharp eyes. She isn't so she is.
Oh, have you?
You know.
풀어주자. 족쇄를 조사한다.
Have to be kidding me.
조용히 해, 이 해설자 자식아.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall.
공주야, 우리 잘 지내보자.
They're large and heavy, far too solid
미안하다,
for you to
지금까지.
even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you
미츠?
should go looking for
알았어.
it. I'm sure it's
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her
잠시만.
to never see the light of day.
설마 내가
They
올라갔다
wouldn't have
오면
just left the
칼을
key to her
주워서 날
chains
죽이는 거
somewhere
아니야?
in the cabin.
네 팔을 자르는 거 빼고? 아, 물어는 보자.
that would be fine.
Ah.
I can lose an arm.
아하.
She speaks with almost. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be
그럴 수도
nonchalant about
있겠네.
cutting our way out. Anything to finally. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the
누구야?
door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here?
어? 아, 문
Your
열어.
shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is. You
문을
try the
열어본다.
door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once
아,
again.
해설자 이 자식아.
You make your way
공주님,
back to the bottom
어떡해요?
of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
팔 잘라야 될 것
I heard the
같은데요?
door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
일단
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding
한 방에
chain.
잘라야지. 야, 이 힘. 아우. 아, 근데 약간 원래 이렇게 팔 같은 거 할 때 알기로는 뼈를 먼저 부러뜨리고 나서 잘라야 그나마 약간 좀 덜 아프게. 그게 그냥 뼈 부분에서 이게 막히면 이렇게 아프니까. 아.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a
에?
sound.
남궁형은 무슨 드립이지? 아, 얼마나 나가고 싶었으면은.
왜 그런 사실을 아시는 거죠? 디귿.
아, 근데 이 왜 어디서 알았더라? 그 애니메이션 보다가 알았거든요? 메이드 인 어비스인가? 아마 거기서 뭔가 봤던 것 같은데. 남궁형이 어찌하죠?
Free from her bindings, the princess turns
팔
to
위로
face
들어야
you.
되는 거
A
아니야?
fierce gaze
피
meeting your
나오겠다.
eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even
하지만
bothered
공주님,
by it.
우리 이제 행복해질 수도 있어요.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
좋아요, 우리 같이 해봐요. 우리 이번엔 우리 협관하지 마요. 우리 좀 관계
we won't
발전
have any
가능성이
of
있다
that. The
생각해요.
stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, as the
아니,
princess
뭔
approaches the
소리야?
bottom stair, your body
아, 진짜
steps forward
뭐라는
and
거야?
raise weight.
아니야.
This isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
어? 아, 안 돼! 아니야!
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
아니야! 아, 단검을 들고 오지 말아야 되나봐.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess
아니야!
swiftly moves
근데
out of the way
애초에
before you
단검을
can
들고
connect.
오지 않으면 손을 자를 수 없잖아. 저항해요.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
어,
I can see the
알아주는구나.
conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
뭐야, 죽어주는 거야, 설마?
She steps forward and
아,
pries the
뭐야,
blade
아니면
from
날
your
죽이는
rigid
거야?
hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your
공주님,
butchered
저는
neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth.
근데 이번엔 또 세계관이 바뀌었네.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're
아,
here
손이
to slay
없는
her.
공주님으로 변했으려나?
If you don't,
이 자식아.
my trick. Don't forget what he did. I'm inclined to you, and as far
엉뚱하게 간다. 다음에는 칼을 들지 말고
warning.
가봐야겠다.
Before you go in, she will lie. Yes. Did you just? No, I didn't.
윙크.
Just ignore this.
그래도 일단 공주를 살리는 쪽으로 가봅시다.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, The only furniture of note is an iron table. The blade is your implement.
이씨, 안 가져가.
You
거울에
walk up to what are you
다가간다.
talking? You reach forward, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know, I'm
지하실에
afraid I'm
들어간다.
going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation.
의심아,
Are you
조용히
sure?
해.
Yes.
영웅이만
I'm
말해.
sure. Turns it against you.
해설자
Okay.
조용히 해. 나 결정할 권리가
Normally,
없어?
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take it
싫어.
wonderful.
아,
We do exactly
강제네요.
that.
아까도
Sweeping the knife
그렇게
from the table
됐으려나?
before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like no, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old
공주랑
stone
대화를 해봅시다.
staircase. Her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs.
이번에 약간 그 사람 행세는
It's
하고
been a
있나
while
보네.
since I've had company.
목소리가 약간 정상적인 거 보니까.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
어?
She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints?
아니
If
이런?
anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall?
이거
Odd that in a
어떻게
place where
풀어드려야
everything
하냐?
seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously
손도 다시
useless.
자라났네요.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
공주 앞에 일단 앉아볼까? 대화하고 싶어요. 저는 당신을 죽이려는 게
You step
아니에요.
towards the princess, but she stops you before you
뭐,
get too
멈춰.
close, holding up one.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
앉으라는 그래. 일단 공주의 말을 해봅시다.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
나만 기억해?
Oh, are we acknowledging that?
헐
I thought we
뭐야.
weren't going to
서로
give
술
away the
마시고
game.
실수로 아니 사실 말도 안 되죠. 실수로 뽀뽀한 다음에 실수 괄호치고 의식은 다 있는데 분위기 타서 사실은 하고 싶었으면서 한 괄호 닫고 이제 그러고 이제 서로 기억나지 않은 척.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. It's a complicated thing. Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done.
응 아니야
You go to the
해설자.
cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and the situation right now, where you're getting a second shot
예상 왜
at
사태?
things, is a contingency for you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going
아니
to be a
난
lot harder
공주를
than
구할
they were.
거야. 너가 뭘
I
알아
really shouldn't say
해설자야.
anything else. I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell?
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could
날
keep you
영원히
there. It's
가두려고.
important. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by that's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. Exactly, he gets it.
Moving on.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous water. Your success hinges on you having
I won't.
Fine.
아니
But you
넌
won't get
이미
another word from
날
me on the matter.
나의 신뢰를 잃었어.
Yeah, just give it a rest. This isn't help.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
무슨 뜻이야? 뭐 일단 대화를 다 해봅시다.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here?
하나는 풀려 있네.
There isn't a keyhole in these
아
shackles.
열쇠 구멍이
I
없어?
don't see any keys in your hands either.
헐.
So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
헐.
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
내가 어떻게
Let me
해줄까?
borrow that knife.
왜요?
Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows.
Oh, please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That,
Though if
해설자
she isn't
조용히 해.
bluffing, whatever.
so,
I don't know.
then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. That
조용히
doesn't.
해.
There are none.
The pros are that we.
나 다
Nothing
물어볼까나?
happened. You died. I went
떠날 수가
upstairs.
없었어?
I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More, and now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work.
계속 이렇게
She's
루프별로
probably
만난다고?
even more in the dark than we are.
아니 이 정도면 사실 약간 정이 들지 않았을까요? 혹시 해피엔딩이란 게 혹시 공주님과 나와의 그런 그 미래를 그려볼 수 있을까요? 기대해봐도 되나? 이 정도면 사실 약간 호감도가 쌓여서 진짜 뭐 거의 영혼의 뭐 그런 수준 가족이 될 수 있지 않을까?
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or.
내가 널 풀어주는 거지. 내게 무기를 넘길 생각 없어? 믿겠어. 어휴. 야, 그 진짜 잘라서 그 풀어주는 게 그게 그 풀어준다고 할 수가 있나? 이건 왜 빈족쇄지?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
뭐야?
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have.
족쇄를 살펴본다. 일단은 잠깐 탐색 맞아? 족쇄를
I
살펴본다.
wouldn't do that.
And why?
Do I even need to explain?
And what?
I don't know.
He
아,
doesn't want us.
살펴봐.
What if he's telling?
He isn't.
I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean?
에?
It sounds
조금 왜
bad.
꺼졌지?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine.
에?
As you hoist
어?
the shackle, its
어?
heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd
아니,
magnetism.
와, 야 자동이야?
Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your and, as if your situation weren't bad enough,
아,
the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Yes.
Huh? So it does fit. But I
공주님.
guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
어떻게
Can't even cut
해야지?
ourselves out. Guess we'll.
굶어 죽어?
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this
Ah.
loose chain. It's clearly important.
둘 다 갇혔네?
Yep.
어떡하지?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
대하기 싫은 거야?
Nope.
That's rude.
이렇게 될 줄 알고 있었어?
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for.
This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes.
배고파.
And the basement of the cabin remains much the same.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
But she's not ending anything. She's just
Well.
sitting there.
Her very existence is a threat. It
나
harms
잘
everything
있는데?
around it.
How exactly does that?
It just.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time.
둘
And
다
after
해골이
that,
되는 거야?
even more time passes again.
And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing.
뭐가
The
변하고
differences
있다.
are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger. And
지하실 너 눈치챘어?
I don't like small talk.
네.
Remember?
still rude.
조용히 기다린다. 뭔가 어두워지고
You
약간
continue to wait
허물어지는
in
느낌이?
silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can
벌레
see
아니에요?
earth through holes in the stonework.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept
그러니까.
of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
아, 뿌리.
I guess she hasn't.
옷?
Even more silent time passes as you watch
완전히
roots push
똑같은데?
themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement.
화장실 같은 것도 안
Dirt
가는
seeps
건가?
inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
이렇게 또 데려가는 거야? 헐.
She's gone, and there's that...
좋아. 거울에 다가간다. 내 잘생긴 얼굴 좀 볼까? 나 수척해졌어? 나 왜 수척해졌지? 이번에 약간 좀 정상적이어 보이네요. 사지가 멀쩡해요.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
무슨 소리예요?
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. I am everything that you have known me to be.
너무 고차원적 이야기라 나의 머리로는 이해할 수 없군. 어떻게
This
생각해?
one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
어떻게 되는 거야?
My
세 개?
perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. Perhaps this will change.
한번 여기
If
있고
you need
싶다고
time.
할까? 그냥 그래 나가자. 그래.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
몇 번을 죽는 거야. 이번에는 칼을 들고 가지 말아봅시다. 그래.
Don't
고마워.
mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up. We're not going to ignore.
좋아요.
The interior blade.
들어간다. 그냥 갔다.
The door to the basement. Her voice
Hello?
is
hypnotizing. It's the
근데
kind of
목소리가
voice you only have to
달랐는데?
hear once to remember it for the rest of
Hello?
your
막
life.
이런 느낌?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
구해주러 거짓말? 구해주러
How
왔어.
many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
나 공주랑 정들었어.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
잠깐만 나 수척한데? 잠깐만 여기 약간 공주님이시니까 약간 구하러 왕자님 같은 걸 좀 생각하신 거 아니야?
You walk
짜잔.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
뭔가
There's a
눈이
heavy chain
초롱초롱한데요?
around her wrist,
단거
binding her
만들어서
to the
그런가?
far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful.
뷰티풀.
How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused.
조용히
There's a lot
해설자.
riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting
그래도
for
얼평
something
안
like this to
하네.
happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step
안
closer to the
가져왔는데?
end.
이야기를 좀 하자. 얘기 좀 해볼까요?
Okay.
그래도 이번에는 좀 그거네. 되게 상냥해 보여요. 이름이 뭘까요?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating
이거는
her words before she responds.
대답해줄 수도 있어요.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness.
아,
Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too
Okay.
formal.
프린세스.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
프린세스? 이름이 프린세스요? 그럼 조크 한번 던져볼까요? 그럼 공주가 이름인가? 하하하하.
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess
이름을
I've just forgotten.
잊었어.
I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself.
뭐 맞고 살아왔어?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
약간 기분 나빠지는
This
것
is the
같은데?
only time this is ever. Okay, but
알았어. 잠깐만. 당장 꺼내줄게. 잠깐만. 약간 또 둘이 똑같은 그건데 말이 아 다르고 어 다르네? 당장 꺼내줄게 정도가 낫지 않을까 싶은데. 당장 꺼내줄게.
you're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge no. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
문 또 닫히는 거
Whoever
아니야?
locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere.
다른 좋은 생각 있어?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
끊어?
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
헐.
She offers the suggestion with almost If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be. If you attempt to make your way out of the... Is someone else here?
근데 일단
Sure,
어차피 칼이 없을 거야. 오케이. 내려간다.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for who? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam.
미안해요.
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic
어,
rising in the princess's voice.
실망하는 거 아니야 나한테?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of... It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment,
근데 아까랑
place the
똑같은데
blade
눈이 좀
against the
다르지
ragged,
않나요?
self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this
근데
place.
기왕 할 거면은 그러니까 약간 좀 아래쪽을 자르는 게 낫지 않았을까? 그러니까 더 불필요하게 더 많이 잘라버리잖아요. 그러니까 손 그 넓은 표면 때문에 못 자르는 건데 약간 그 아래를 자르면 안 된다? 아니 이렇게 있으니까 여기를 자르면은 그러니까 좀 도찐 개찐이다. 몰라.
You cut into her flesh.
거기서 거기다.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
다시 이거 얼음팩에다 넣어놓고 다시 붙이는 봉합술 뭐 안 돼? 나 옛날에 그 막 위기탈출 넘버원 막 이런 데 봤는데 막 그런 거 막 차갑게 해서 막 병원 가져가면은 그래도 어떻게 뭐 되지 않나? 중세에는 없겠지. 마법 없나
Didn't so
마법?
much as utter a sound
의료
through
기술
the whole
발달 안 되어
ordeal.
있어?
No,
she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours.
표정이
Blood from her
달라요.
wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Oh my
How
god.
is she still smiling after everything? It's
미쳤어요.
like she isn't
눈이
even
헷가닥
bothered by what just
돌았어요.
happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
사실 나의 도움은 필요 없었을지도.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are
아
too
해설자
high.
진짜 가만히 좀
You
있어요.
can't just let her as the
아
princess
진짜.
approaches the... Wait,
아 또야.
watch me.
What are you doing?
안돼.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't
네
it?
쉬었어요.
You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward,
Oh,
the
oh,
blade
oh.
held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
나 또 공주한테 죽는
Stop
거야?
it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
싫어.
The
저항을 해.
blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance,
다가오지
the
마요.
princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards
와,
you
역시 날
and
또
takes the
죽이는 거야?
blade from your infuriatingly...
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It
나 또
is
죽어.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
그래도 미안하다잖아.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done.
왜 버텨? 빨리 죽어야지.
For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again.
그러게 차라리 목을
and
걷는 게
again.
나았을 수도
You feel
있겠네.
every inch of burning.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
아, 한 방에 가게 해줘야지.
Apparently not. But it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab
아프단
wound. Won't be long
말이야.
before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
그만 질러. 어차피 죽어. 알아주려러.
One last thrust of the knife. Your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling
그래도
around
미안해
you, your
하시잖아.
limbs unresponsive. The
그래도
princess
지금까지
stares
중에
down
제일
at your
이쁘잖아.
ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this. Oh, that's rich coming from you.
뭐야? 이 구독?
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the
뭐야?
reality of what's happened.
뽀가리라도
The
하나?
two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
어? 약간 챕터도 달라졌다. 소공녀가 됐네요?
You're on a path. You're here to...
진짜 오두막에 간다.
A warning. She will lie. But
조용히
last
하세요.
time, I think you... I do.
홀린자?
But I also
이건
speak
약간
from the
지금
heart. My passions are too great
나
to
지금
be
공주한테
stifled.
홀렸네.
They must... Sure, yeah, your passion. Don't pay their bickering any mind.
육수야?
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant. Its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries. A prison befitting a royal
약간
prison.
분위기가 달라지네요,
The only
진짜.
the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
사실 이번에도 그냥 공주 조화 모드 갑시다.
The door to the
부금도
basement creaks
좋아졌어요.
open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful
Wait.
than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we
사랑에
can to
빠져서
save her, but
바라지
saying we're
않냐고?
in love is a bit much.
뭐
don't you
빠질
think?
수도 있지. 아니 지금 몇 번째야 지금
We
공주랑.
don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this
아니.
fawning.
난 지금 그녀와 많은 일이
Yes,
있었어.
for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms
맞네.
are all
까-
part of the
카펫도 깔려있네요.
manipulation. walk down
어머,
the
더
stairs and
이뻐졌어,
lock
뭐야?
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love,
My
we're
love.
here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but
아니,
surely
말하는 것도 왜 이렇게 옛날에 그 막 로미오와 줄리엣 막 그런 느낌으로 막 나나나나.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero.
뭐야?
I was so worried you
아,
wouldn't
뭐야?
come back.
아니, 저의 능력한 영혼이라는데요? 아니 이거 이번 루트 꽤나 마음에 드는 걸. 그러니까 현관에서 이제 나는 그녀와 사랑에 빠지는 거야. 약간 야수와 미녀와 야수 같은 느낌으로 나는 약간 괴물의 모습을 하고 있지만 이 아름다운 공주를 구출해냄으로써 그냥 영웅이 됨으로써.
Did you hear that?
그래.
She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two
그녀를
of you,
구할
doesn't
거야.
it?
해설자 넌 조용히 해.
Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
That's right, villain. And you killed
그래
us.
이 자식아.
Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense.
그래, lovely.
Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to
조용히
oblivion.
해설자.
We damned a whole world. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't.
Horrible for
조용히
you, maybe.
해설자 2.
But we've been given another opportunity to sweep her
그래,
off her feet
왔어요,
and
공주.
treat her like the lady she is.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world,
조용히 해
We
영웅이.
never saw a world end.
그래 내가 못
Now I'm
봤으면
even
그
more
없는
certain
거야.
that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been.
are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
왜 그랬지? 아니야 너무 뭐라 하지 말자. 야, 아니야 세상의 멸망 이런 부정적인 단어 꺼내지 마. 우리 공주 지켜. 일단 미안해. 일단 사과부터 해.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic...
That's okay. You were just doing your best. And
She took that in stride.
아니
To
부금
a
봐.
surprising extent.
나 진짜 약간 지금
Almost unsettling
여기가
extent,
궁전으로
actually.
보여. 약간 레드카펫에 있어 이렇게 날 기다리고 있는 거지. 나의 왕자님 이러면서 오셨어 이렇게 약간 이렇게 막 다소곳하게 부금 완전 뭐.
That's because she's perfect.
이지야 좀 스토리
Do you
닿네.
think
야
she has
지금까지 너무
someone like him
다크다크했어.
telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, or
아 너무 뭐라 하지 말까? 무슨 이 정도만 할까?
you died. And now we're talking.
뭐? 아니 뭐 약간 이런 꽃밭 공주님도 나쁘지 않아? 매력 있어. 우리가 구해봅시다.
rescue her. What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip her out with ease.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already?
솔직히 아까는 혼자서 잘하던데.
Because we've yet to present her with her freedom.
I'm not sure I follow.
Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature?
I think I'd rather believe in fact.
Ah, so you're one of those empiricists.
One of us has to be.
Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we
Narrator.
courageously step forward and free our beloved from her binding.
No, I can't.
You're what?
조용히 해.
Take over our body?
I would if you had a weapon.
이번엔 진짜
Not
살려보자고.
on my watch, villain. My passions contain tight
우리의 사랑을.
depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
어우 이뻐.
You approach the
어머,
princess
뭐야?
and gingerly slide
야,
her
그냥
hand from her
빼냈어.
bindings. That shouldn't have worked.
공주님.
I'll be damned. We're doomed.
뭐야 왜 지금까지 그냥 갇혀
I
있었던
can't
거지?
believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you.
There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
아니 이렇게 행복하게 살았습니다, 했니? 오,
One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would
고마워요.
be buried in her back,
감사합니다.
and everyone out there would be saved.
Luckily for Mr.
해피엔딩이야, 진짜?
Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our
Of
side?
love.
What do we do now?
결혼. 우린 떠날 거야. 평생 동안 천천히 정하면 돼. 그래, 우리 같이 일단 궁금해해주자.
Let me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had
조용히 해,
it all wrong.
영호아.
What? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever
우리 이제
doubted
천천히
the
고민하자.
actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think,
The princess closes her eyes and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
근데 그래도 약간 싸함을 난 너무 물어보지 말고 그냥 나가고 싶으면 나가자. 일단 나가고 생각하자.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand. The
아이고,
last
이게
hopes of the
로맨스지.
entire
그래,
world
공주,
slipping through
영웅.
your fingers as they intertwine
아,
with hers.
클래식하네. 좋다.
We have each other.
그치.
We don't need the world for our happy ending.
이게
I like to
해피엔딩이지.
think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up
어머나.
the stairs.
아니 이거 여친
hand in
시점 뭐야? 이거 손 이렇게 잡아주고 이거.
Look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see.
Ah.
Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the
잠겼어.
lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the
하지마, 아직
unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of...
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just
아니 우리
met her.
수많은 시간 안에 감정을 키워 나갔다고. 너가 뭘 알아,
Of course you
해결자야.
wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Well, I don't know. Do you think I can?
Of course she can. You believe in her, right?
Nobody is leaving this basement.
어떻게 해야 될까? 함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech.
Love is open.
And the lock clicks.
야,
The
뭐야?
door creaks open. Are you
아유,
kidding me?
척척 잘
I
진행되는데?
told you our love was insurmountable.
You and the princess make your way upstairs and
에? 야, 무슨 소리냐? 진짜 그러지 않는다. 진짜 왜
you're
그러니?
enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step
오.
outside.
로맨틱 케이스? 이거 진짜 해피엔딩 아니에요? 좋은데요?
Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything
아,
go?
지금 이 공주도
Where
데려가는
did
거야?
he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was
운동자의
too busy
cheers.
staring
짠!
deep into our belief.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick,
안
our feathers, pluck the
돼.
ball and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
안 돼. 우리 행복한 결말이 될 수 있었는데 이거까지.
She's gone. Is that a...
안 돼. 거울에 비친 나 자신. 당신은 해체되었다? 왜지? 언제까지? 그래도 이번엔 이쁜 공주님이에요.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long.
바깥 세상에 사람들이
It doesn't
있을까?
matter if there are. People are frail.
여봐,
and
사랑하는 사이
criminal.
아니에요?
You
오직
and I are the only things
오직
that
당신과
interest
제
me.
자신이래잖아요.
This one is soft and delicate. You
오!
molded her to love you, and she'll make for
날
a gentle
사랑하고
heart.
있대.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. No, their minds are empty.
해설자?
Existence.
뭘까나?
Do not look to one who.
얼마나 가져와야 해?
Whatever you bring me
잠깐만,
next will be
마지막이래요.
enough. And then gravity
오,
will
저
pull the
하나만
others
더
back to me.
찾읍시다.
The next time I see you, I will be here.
깜짝이야. 근데 잠깐 내가 안 한 게 있었나? 내가 뭘 이제 하면 될까나?
You're on a path. You're here to.
어떤 분기점이 그거지? 혁명? 이거는 근데 뭐 그냥
That's the spirit.
가는 거라 가지고.
You make your way up the short path. We're not going to ignore him. The interior
유령
of the
살려주기. 오케이.
Who's there?
유령하고
good. She's
유령하고
so
타협을
focused.
해봅시다.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me?
You step.
Oh, I'm probably so.
She.
죽인다.
You lunge forward. You feel flex.
Oh, this is. Do you?
It's like yeah, but
오, 이렇게 회색이 되네.
it's. We should. I read. And why shouldn't
Oh,
we? I've
뭐지?
told you everything.
응. 뭐야? 뭐 있다. 단검을 뽑는다. 맥박을 잰다. 뽑아볼까?
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt. But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side. What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here.
살아있어.
It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own
왜
deeper between
살아있지?
your ribs.
우리 방금 전까지 좋았는데.
As you fall, she falls
이렇게
with you,
죽는구나.
exhausted by the effort. The little life that was left in her
아.
eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
You were so close. For whatever that's worth.
어쨌든
Everything
똑같이
goes
유령이
If
될
you
것
die.
같긴 한. 뭐야 다르다.
You're on a path in the woods,
유령이 아니야.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay. A warning before you go any. She will lie. She will cheat. He could. You know what? Just. The
Oh.
interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken
Mate.
boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
거울이 다가갔다.
What are you talking? You read. Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us.
이번에는 단검을 가져가지 말까? 야, 타협 얘기를
Are
해보자.
we really doing this without a weapon? You know she has one, right?
말을
The
들어봅시다.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it. Scraping? She's not even trying to
무슨
hide
소리야?
her knife. That sound could be anything. It's probably just her grating voice.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been
뭐가
stuck
다른데요?
down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice. Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp
뒤에
eyes
칼 같은
following
거
you
숨기고
from
있는
across
거
the
아니야?
room.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. Exactly. She sounds...
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
아, 목소리가 그래도 약간 좀 타일러 봅시다. 못 믿긴다. 안녕. 이건 뭐야? 떠나도 되나? 떠나도 되는 거야? 안녕.
It's boring if you leave.
She's bored? That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. She's... Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm,
손에
her wrist limp
칼날이었어.
and empty from the violent expulsion.
아니 이 공주는 대체 뭐야?
So I guess she... How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. At least we're safe here.
그래 묶여
She's still in
있잖아.
chains. And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment. She looks down at them with something
헐,
between
설마
annoyance
칼
and
자르기?
confusion. And then
헉.
she slices through her arm.
와 진짜 무섭다.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe here. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace. That won't stop us from trying. Run, 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 run!
Run.
You sprint for the stairs, but
우리
I wasn't
대화의 장을
exaggerating when I said she was
펼쳐볼까요?
running at you with
아.
a terrifying speed you couldn't
근데
hope to
어차피
outpace.
대화에서도
We
비슷했을 것
don't make
같기도
it.
하고.
No. You feel her blade in your back before you make it to the first stair.
I'm going to kill you now.
And with a squelch, she does just that.
우리
Everything goes
좋았는데.
dark, and you die.
도주 불가 뭐야?
You're
3챕터가
on a
있네?
path in the...
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this
그래.
over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn
아이.
woods every time.
야,
We're
아니 그래 이
starting in the
자식아. 나
fucking
이제
cabin.
You're what? The interior? I feel
어 바로 와줬네. 오 고마워요.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting?
약간
Who holds
유리같이
the
돼 있네.
cards now? Who cares about cards? You're all acting like this is about winning and losing, while this is actually about having fun. How can you care about having fun at a time like this? There is someone or something
편집증.
out there
편집증이
pulling the
뭐지?
strings, and we're all just puppets until we can figure out how to see them. But what if that someone is us, eh? Eh? Wouldn't that be neat? If we were the ones pulling the strings, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have died twice already. Great.
아,
So
의심.
obviously you've already been here. How many times?
몇 번인지도
This is
모르겠다.
no wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction.
아니라고.
That can't be right. That's too much responsibility. It's only too much responsibility if these worlds are... Let's just stay focused. The only furniture of note is a bench. We take it. Okay, sure.
무조건
You take the
챙기는
blade
걸로
before
되네.
letting me finish telling you it's there. And then...
어?
We throw it out the window.
반항심.
That blade is the only edge we have. We are not too late. Fortunately for the rest of you,
오.
me,
아 그래.
and for the sake of the world, yes. That is horribly unfair. He shouldn't be allowed to just do things like that. You were the one who made us pick it up. See? You're not the only one who can figure out how to... What's done is done. I suggest you make the best of it. Oh, is this how things are going to be now? All of us vying over a single body? Fine. See this corner? It's mine. So? Are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to? I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down? You walk through the door.
문이
You
여기
do
있나
know, but there
보네.
isn't a door, it's just that there isn't a mirror. We can see our reality. You make your way to the door at the end of... Let's just fun.
자, 거울을
Reach
닦아서
forward
문을
and place... And the
열고.
mirror's gone. I can't say I
우리
was
또
particularly
공주님을
invested in
아련하러
looking at it.
갑시다.
It feels like it's... Yes, it's time for us to just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward.
어휴,
but
계단이
you don't get a chance
없네.
to linger on the basement
우후!
stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you.
As your body tumbles onto the
Yay.
basement landing, the form of the princess comes into view, wryly smiling at you from a distance.
Hi. It looks like you don't have a way out.
아,
so I'm not
목소리도
going to
약간
play dumb
이상해.
anymore. And you still don't have a weapon. That's funny. That's a joke. I'm going to kill you now.
아, 단단히 미쳤어.
Yes, that was extremely silly of whoever did that. Probably a bad idea. That was you. I know. I'm just trying to add some levity to this. Well, since all of this was your idea,
아니, 배신이랑 반항이랑 아주
그냥.
그냥.
Oh, guys like us don't get to make any decisions. You should know that. I decided to pick up that blade, and you decided
야,
to throw it
진정해,
out the window.
진정해.
I take it back. Having my own corner clearly isn't working because I can still hear you three yelling at each other. She's going to kill
우린
us
생각을
again, you know?
없애야 돼.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the
야,
wet sound
이제는
of
그냥
slicing meat.
하네.
From the princess's arms erupt twin blades,
고기를
glistening
쏘는
with her blood. The
소리를.
empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like
너무
torn
무서워요.
sleeves.
너무
The chain.
잔인합니다.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
드드드드드드드드드.
All right, I'm out of ideas. What we doing?
무조건 항복한다. 한번 대화를 해보자. 공주야. 항복,
Ooh,
항복.
that'll show her. Yeah. A bit of reverse psychology. I like it. How does unconditionally surrendering work for us? Does it have to be unanimous? I think it's up to the one making the decisions. We're really all just hearing an advice. Let's see how it goes.
조용히 두서 괜히 말을 얹지 마.
You silently throw your hands in the air.
항복.
Surrendering, are we? Don't you know it takes two to stop a fight?
공주님, 칼이 너무.
Ah, shit. Before you can make another move, she skewers you. Ow.
Ouch.
We deserved it. Can't even surrender right.
어우, 이거, 어우, 너무.
Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die.
뭐야?
Did we die? Nah. We'd know if we died.
뭐야?
Right? Your Honor? No,
Oh.
Your Honor. Where the hell are you? We're dead, aren't we? We're dead. How long have we been dead? Have we been dead the whole time?
해설자가.
Dead. Stop saying dead, all of you. We
그러게?
might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here? I don't actually know how to answer that question. I think he means how many times have we died? Yes. That. Oh, I've lost count, to be honest.
I haven't. It's 4.
네 번째라고?
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay. Whatever we do gets us another plus.
자아를
Let's
늘려?
see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. Oh, great. So it's going to get even
북적북적 웅성웅성 자화자.
Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of chance.
Come on, show me something new.
아, 유혹하면 되잖아. 오, 예. 아, 아니 그냥 뭐 바로 이렇게 되는 거야? 아니 그 뭐 그냥 먹금 당해버리네.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades.
홀린자의 목소리.
There's nothing better than a capable woman.
오랜만이다.
Skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. We just have to hit her
싸움거리 목소리
harder.
오랜만.
Skewers you. More noise isn't helping. It's just making it. Just keep dodging. Just keep dodging. She skewers you.
What's the point of avoiding me?
Doesn't matter how many. We don't even have a weapon. Yeah. So
반항심,
again.
영웅.
I was just. She's going to kill this
와,
body
몇
either
개나
way.
올지 되는 거야.
So
미쳤다.
stop feeling what it feels.
맹렬히 하이.
Skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
See? We lasted a little long. Barely. Let's appeal to her better
기회주의자?
nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you.
와, 나 진짜 몇 번을 죽는
We're
거야.
getting close to something. Can't you feel it? One last time. Fine. One last
마지막 자아는 누구지?
time. None of this is working. Think. She skewers you. And then everything goes dark. And you die.
응? 네 번째가 있어? 네 번째 처음이야.
Your Honor, don't lose your head.
뭐야,
We're
뭐야.
in a cabin. Take it from here.
오두막에
No
있어.
steel claw, though. Was tossing it the only thing we've done that was permanent? That's a sick
그러니까.
joke, universe. If it's gone for good, then maybe we never actually needed it. That's what I've been telling you all. Yeah, mind over matter.
그런가?
Who needs violence when you have? Who needs love when you've mastered yourself? Who needs anything? Well, boys, are we ready?
준비됐어?
There are entirely too many of you. How
가보자고?
many tab out? You stick to describing things.
오케이, 그럼
We'll stick to
싸워야
doing
되나?
them. Yeah, leave it to the pro.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our...
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs. Only
마중
it's
나와
more of
있나?
a slide.
어.
Fine. I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room or
해설자는
anything?
진짜
It feels like I'm
가만히
don't care.
있으세요.
Just want to see how this ends. Fine. You make your way to the basement.
이제 족쇄가
where the
없네?
princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait, and not for very long.
Are you going to say what she does?
온몸이 칼날이 되나?
Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would
해설자한테 설명해 달래.
describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin bursts, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts. She becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. Her heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Gorgeous.
Absolutely divine.
Yes.
Yes.
The perfect woman. Do you think we can throw?
어떡해, 저기 닿으면 잘리겠다.
That looked painful. How is she still alive? Heart's still beating. That's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. I'd say we bow down to her right now if that had ever even slightly worked for us.
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed.
오졌네.
I quit. I'm done.
정신을 비운다. 릴렉스.
What just happened?
어?
It's so quiet.
그도 비운다? 해설자도 그거였어?
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different.
Like
I should actually take this seriously
진짜네.
for once.
오. 오, 나까지 비우는 거야? 오, 야,
This
초월했어.
worked before. I was able to make you dead before.
어.
Did you do that? It's funny if you did. You're nothing. You've done
쩐다.
nothing to me, and I've done so much to you, and
나 꽤 멋있잖아.
that's who we are. But it's like, no, I'm the one who hurts you.
오, 심장만이 나왔다. 내가 그녀의 심장을 심장 가져가는 거야? 오, 거울에 다가간다. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 나 이제 좀 잘생겨졌나? 나는 아무것도 아니라고? 뭐야 이거? 까마귀 같은 건가? 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
뭐야, 해설자가 나야? What? 뭐야? 네가 해설자군.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your
직접
blade.
만나면 안 된다고?
But you were never supposed to see me.
넌 뭐야?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the
그냥
only
또
one
하나의
who can make
나라는
that claim.
건가?
I'm sure you've met many others like me.
저와 같은 존재.
Of course.
아,
That is by
다른
both necessity
해설자였어?
and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore. I do.
할 말.
People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
뭐지? 다 물어봐도
Nobody
되나?
alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty,
아프지 않아?
it
뭐야? 아. 야, 조각
And if I
부셔진다.
were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
왜
Any other version of
거짓말했어?
me you
아,
talked to
맞다,
was
맞다.
just that. Perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct, except for me. Soon I'll be gone
거짓말.
entirely. And you'll be left
마지막
alone with your
선택?
final choice.
죽은
So
그
allow me
자체를
to make
품고
my final
있습니다.
request. The princess contains death itself within her. But I wove you into being
와,
with all the
해설자의
power you
말을
need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her and rid the world of death and suffering.
뭐야? 난 뭐야?
You're the long quiet.
나
the god
신이야?
I made to rid the world of death.
정말? 잠시만. 거짓말. 난 그녀를 죽이지 않을 거야. 완전히 죽기 전에 알려주고 싶었어. 그냥 약간 열일 결말 해줄까?
So I am. It's like I said, I'm
야,
just an echo.
일어나세요. 깨달음? 난 신? 모든 게 나? 오두막으로 간다. 어디 갔어? 하이.
I can finally see you.
뭐야?
And you can finally.
아, 내가 아는 공주님이 아닌데. 아, 공주님. 꼬리 이게 뭐예요? 어메, 이게 뭐야, 세상에. 얼굴이 너무 많아요.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
아니, 근데 이게 그 뭐지? 옛날에 막 천사 같은 것들 너무 착하게 안 보려고 무서운 형체였다고는 하는데 무섭긴 하네요. 난 정막이야.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death.
이건
Pay
대체
him no
뭐야?
mind.
무슨 일이 일어나나요?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
그런가?
When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me
아,
a
원래
role to play.
하나였어? 얘랑 나랑?
I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
그래, 왜 나만
Of
선택해?
course I have a say in all of this. You and I, if we didn't, the winding...
그러게? 뭐 수동적이든 무식인 간에 어쨌든
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we
깜짝이야.
violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then
왜
so
갑자기
be
화났지?
it.
내가 뭔가
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it.
나 별말 안 했는데? 내가 뭔가 물어봐서 그런가?
Until your bodies are not your thoughts or not you. You learn to put yourself
뭐야,
away
뭐야.
and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to humble me, to show me how far I was from what I needed. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
폭력은 상대하지 않아.
But violence has defined the flow
소리가
of
다 다르네.
everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not.
왜 자꾸 어머.
Your liver tries to stay
헐.
into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it
지금까지
go?
내가 가져왔던 애들을 걔네들 보여주는 건가?
But the stakes
예,
meant nothing to you.
사랑했던 애잖아.
You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
침묵을 유지한다. 항복한다. 근데 러블리 공주님이 말하니까 공주가 얘기하니까 이해했어. 싸움하고 싶지 않아.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
해방! 그녀를 재현한 이곳의 모든 것이 당신이다? 제가요? 유한하게 만든다?
I love you.
사랑해요? 옷? 나 좋아한다는데? 옷? 난
It's
잘...
magnificent.
이제 무슨 일이 생기죠?
Everything. Just like it always
뭐지, 뭐
has been.
빅뱅 같은 거야?
And just like it always will be.
무한을 향해 발을 디딘다. 집에 도착했대요. There is no endings. 되게 약간 뭔가 많은 뜻을 담고 있는 것 같지만 되게 그렇네요. 아무튼 이게 해피엔딩 아닐까? 그럴까요? 죽이러 가볼까요? 뭐 어쨌든 커플이니까 저는 공주랑 행복해졌습니다. 뱀을 키우셔? 공주를 죽인다!
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you.
약간 약간 해석본 같은 거 봐야지 좀 알 것 같네.
You are a body. You are gory ribbon. On and on it goes. You learned to put. You died.
자, 일단 침묵
But you
유지.
say nothing.
아니
Into your body.
공주가 나와서 해도
The stakes meant nothing
날 막을
to you.
수 없어.
You had a desire,
미안해.
and you set that desire free.
미안해.
And so your quietude continues. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. But even then,
아,
you remembered the
기억난다.
impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things.
영원하지 않다는 것은 끝을 의미하는 게 아니야.
Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
일단 침묵.
Is your unbroken silence a lack of an answer? Or has it?
우와, 무서운 공주다. 두두두두두두두두두두. 아니, 침묵을 유지한다.
Still, you hide the contours of your heart.
오!
A person.
맞아. 이 첫 번째 공주가 내 장기를
Pluck the eyes,
뜯어냈다고.
peel the skin, strip the tendons,
잘하네.
mince the meat, grind the bones. When a person is not a body, death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that feel it.
침묵 유지.
Your stoicism knew. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good.
정말 이해하기 어렵고.
Open your eyes and accept
Open your
what we
eyes.
are. We can leave this prison
미안해.
together.
나도 나가고 싶지만 엔딩을 봐서 다른 걸 봐야 해. 미안해. 공주를 죽인다.
Even now, you think you can destroy me. If it takes all
어,
of
안 되나
eternity to
보네.
break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone.
오. 오. 넌 어떤 영웅이지?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're.
뭐야? 아, 거울을 볼 때마다 죽는다고? 어디 갔어?
They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them. Just there's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began.
뭐야, 그냥 심정 속으로? 그게 무슨 소리예요?
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she?
준비됐어?
Let's make this quick.
준비됐어.
Then let's go.
어? 뭐야? 약간 스케치했던 오 뭐야?
And here we are. I'd say we
공주를
were
진짜
back where it
죽이러
all
가는 건가?
started, but I guess it's a little after that. Do you need me to describe
야,
things?
해설자 어디 갔어?
It's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is... well, come to think of it, there's no mirror either. And I know I've already mentioned...
단거이 필요해? 알았어. 하지만 혹시 모르니까 저장.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more
맞긴 해.
options than not. The stairs.
마지막으로 공주를
Remember the first time we
죽여야겠네.
were here? The first time we heard her voice.
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
오,
And there
족쇄도
you
없어.
are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
영원히 혼자야? 헐. 대화할까? 죽여버려? 대화해볼까? 같은 존재야?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
뭐야? 어쩔 수 없어. 미안해.
You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you.
날
And I wish you
사랑했어?
nothing but the best.
사랑한 거 맞아? 어? 세계는 멸망하지 않았다. 계속된다.
She's gone.
She's
And
gone.
I don't think she's coming back.
뭐야?
Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. It's quiet here.
그래도 영웅이가 있으니까 좀 괜찮은걸. 이게 죽음으로부터 해방된 세계야? 해방! 내가 고대의 생명체? 여기 있는 모든 게 나야?
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
심장을 열고 당신의 새로운 왕국을 목도한다. 오, 이건 빨간색이네. 오, 보잉?
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win. We're the house now. We get to make the rules.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us?
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
I hope this was all worth it. Because I'm personally inconsolable.
Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it. Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Here, here, to our vanquished foe.
건배.
I guess the only thing left to do is figure out what happens next.
아, 그냥 그냥 뭐 새로운 세상 뭐 이런 건가? 아, 부검도 잘 안 나오네. 다른 거 없이? 그러면은 근데 똑같지 않을까요?
No
지하실로
We
들어간다.
both.
And down we go.
And there, maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
우리 그냥 떠나는 건 어때?
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would
공주의
even
손을
happen if we
잡는다.
leave? What would that even mean?
어?
Okay then.
뭐야
Let's
이거?
leave.
부끄러워하는데?
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now,
뭐야
wherever
이런
you're
세상도
going,
있어?
feels like it's for just the two of you.
고마워.
Don't mention it.
뭐야? 어? 오. 역할이 없어. 그럼에도 그녀는 여전히 공주이다? 헐. 엄청난 해피엔딩 같아.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really.
헉.
Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad.
헉.
Not with you.
뭐야 이거? 이 타이밍에 해야 되나? 그래.
I
어?
love you too.
뭐지? 뭐야 이거 미연씨야? 어이.
But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all
아유
emotional.
세상에 왜? 아니 잠깐 뭐야 이거? 에? 오? 아니 완전 초 해피엔딩 아니냐고요? 매 이거 이게 진엔딩인가요? 그런가요? 뭐 약간 본인이 생각하기에 따라서 엔딩은 뭐 다 다르겠지만 일단 보기는 좋네요. 우주 세상의 시작이니 영원이니 이런 어려운 단어들보다 그냥 직관적으로 행복해 보이고 좋네. 엔딩 4개라고? 하나 뭐야? 하나 제가 볼 수 있어요? 그니까 칼 들고 말 걸어서 응?
That's probably.
We both.
And damn, we.
And there you'll have all of eternity to yourself after.
일단 약간 얘기를 하는 건가? 그러니까 제가 죽는 거예요? 제가 죽는 엔딩인가요? 그러면은 약간 이런 느낌으로 가야 되나?
Honestly, me neither. Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up.
그건 다시
Can she
반복이잖아.
really do that?
널 잊고 싶지 않아. 결국엔 여기로 오게 될 거야. 이거예요? 아니잖아요.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
동의하면 돼요? 헐, 우리가 이 대화를 이미 한 적이 없다고 어떻게 믿어? 헐.
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other. She takes the blade from her hand.
주인공 순애야. 뭐야? 사실 서로 좋아하고 있는 거야? 이게 무슨 일이야? 이 와중에 갑자기 세상에 하긴 애초에 한 명이었으니까 두 개로 논아진 존재들이죠.
I love you too.
헉. 에?
You're on a path.
뭐예요? 엔딩 아닌 거 아니에요? 아무런 선택지 고르는 그러니까 처음으로 다시 돌아가는. 헐. 헐. 영원히 반복하고 있을 수도 있는 거야. 헐키. 아니 주인공 순애 뭐냐고. 나는 감동을 했습니다. 헐. 그러게 무한 루프네. 히든 엔딩은 뭐예요? 그래도 세 번째 엔딩이 가장 약간 좀 희망적이고 좋습니다. 네, 제일 마음에 드네요. 함무르프 히든 엔딩 뭐 보기 어려워요? 근데 뭔가 4번도 뭔가 좋아. 마지막에 어떻게 그 첫 번째 선택지가 있을 수 있지? 오마이갓 진짜 순애 맛있다. 오두막 떠난다 하면 좋습니다. 재밌네요. 약간 게임이 약간 그냥 거대한 순의 물을 본 느낌인데? 나는 그냥 이 둘의 사랑 이야기를 봤어. 서로 계속 죽이고 했지만, 그러니까 딥다크 순애물 좀 과격하긴 했지만 그들의 사랑을 보았다.